One second, the world was full of voices. The next, absolute silence. The world didn't crash. It just stopped. Silence filled the air, heavy, alive, almost breathing. Then came a faint hum, not loud, just wrong. Machines kept running, lights kept glowing, as if humanity had simply stepped out for a moment and never came back. The sky still shined, the forest still breathed, but this time, without us. What do you think would happen if humanity disappeared tomorrow? Comment your thoughts below and hit subscribe so we can explore the answer together in this video. The world didn't end with an explosion. It ended with a breath that never came back. It didn't start with screaming. It started with a silence so loud it cracked the air. 1 second, a billion conversations mid-sentence, next second, nothing. Coffee froze midair. A bus kept rolling through a red light with no one at the wheel. Phones rang, alarms blinked, ovens beeped, all waiting for hands that would never answer again. For a heartbeat, the world looked almost normal, until you noticed the stillness was too perfect. Curtains stopped halfway in the breeze. A child's balloon hung motionless above a stroller that would never move again. The city stood like a paused movie, holding its breath. Traffic lights kept switching for ghosts. Automatic doors waited for footsteps that would never return. Then came the hum, low, endless, the kind of sound you feel before you realize you're alone. And somewhere, a plastic bag floated through an empty street, confused, defiant, alive. Then came the sound, not loud, just wrong, the faint buzz of power lines, still humming for no one. Machines kept going out of habit, as if humanity was just late, but the air knew better. It carried no laughter, no breath, no pulse, only the leftover warmth of what used to be us. And in that warmth, the world realized something terrifying. For the first time in history, no one was watching. And somewhere, in a half-filled cup of coffee, the surface never stopped trembling, as if the world was still deciding whether to finish the breath it started. Morning came, but nothing moved. The clouds looked down, waiting for someone to say, "Beautiful." By noon, the world starts to notice itself. The air feels lighter, but not in a good way, like it's missing the weight of our mistakes. Smoke rises from 100,000 chimneys, then stops halfway up, unsure whether to keep going. Birds circle, lost, their patterns broken. Even the windmills turn once, then stop, realizing they've been worshipping wind that no longer believes in them. Without humans, the air has no reason to move, no heat from engines, no breath, no heartbeat to stir it. It just hangs there, thick, remembering us badly. In kitchens, stoves keep burning meals no one will taste. Whole cities smell like toast and unfinished mornings. Elevators hum inside skyscrapers filled with nobody, politely waiting for a button that'll never be pressed. Somewhere, a plane glides silently across the sky, still on autopilot, searching for a landing strip already forgotten by time. Traffic control keeps sending signals to no one, perfect conversations between machines that forgot what hello means. And then it happens, the first domino in a chain too big to stop. Power grids trip, satellites blink out one by one. Without constant correction, orbit drifts. The internet dies mid-scroll, half a meme, half a memory. Somewhere, a single notification still blinks. Are you still watching? The last echo of us, frozen in digital air. Nature doesn't cheer, it hesitates. Trees still stand the same, waiting for carbon dioxide that never comes. The ocean exhales, but no one inhales back. Even wind starts to fade because wind was never just air, it was movement, friction, life. Hours pass, but clocks refuse to. Even time seems embarrassed to move without witnesses. By sunset, the sky looks wrong, colors too sharp, shadows too long. The world feels embarrassed, as if caught rehearsing without its audience. And somewhere, in the still blue silence, one truth floats up. Impossible but undeniable. The air doesn't need us to exist, but it keeps the echo anyway, just in case we come back for it. The days don't arrive anymore, they just leak through the cracks of time. Days pass, though time feels different without eyes to measure it. Power plants run out of fuel, the hum fades, one grid at a time. Cities go dark, not because someone turned them off, but because no one was left to care if they stayed on. Billboards keep glowing, selling to no one. A mannequin smiles in the dark, the last face left on Earth. Without human touch, order starts peeling away like old paint. Nuclear plants sleep uneasy. Cooling systems fail, quiet at first, then one by one, they boil over, whispering steam into a sky that doesn't flinch. Forests take the hint and catch fire. It's not anger, just math. Turns out, nature always knew algebra, we just kept failing the test. Glass towers surrender next, their windows cracking under heat and neglect. Bridges rust, cables sigh, satellites fall like shooting stars with forgotten names. The moon still circles, loyal as ever, but tides begin to stumble without our balance. Even gravity seems tired of pretending this is sustainable. The silence invites them first, a kingdom with no kings. Animals wander into cities again, hesitant, as if entering a sacred ruin. Cows graze on lawns of parliament. Wolves sleep inside shopping malls. Nature reclaims everything, but not in triumph, more like inheritance it never wanted. Roots curl through marble. Ivy wraps the word, welcome. The earth signs the papers quietly. Decades slip by. The last traces of us dissolve. Metal returns to dust. Plastic learns to break down, and glass becomes sand again. Even the monuments, those stone confessions of our pride, start bowing to rain and roots. From a distance, Earth doesn't look dead, it looks relieved, like a fever finally breaking. The chain reaction that started with silence has completed its loop. Creation without creator, beauty without witness. And somewhere, deep beneath a collapsing city, a motion sensor light flickers one last time, still doing its job faithfully, still waiting for someone to walk by. It doesn't flicker out, it waits, just long enough to prove it remembered us. Time loses interest, it stops counting, and the world stops caring. Centuries pass, and silence becomes the only language left. It learns to walk through ruins, gentle but curious, trying on our footsteps, just to see how they fit. Forests spread like a memory, trying to cover a scar. Rivers carve through highways, patient and precise. Road lines fade underwater, white stripes dissolving into currents, direction no longer matters. The air grows clear again, too clear, revealing a sky so clean it almost hurts to look at. Without voices to fill it, even wind forgets how to hum. Peace, it turns out, is louder than war, it just takes longer to hear it. The last echo of civilization fades beneath moss and mist. Steel skeletons of skyscrapers crumble like chalk. Rain falls through empty windows, washing dust off chairs, still waiting for meetings that will never start. Somewhere, a rusted swing sways without a push, creaking softly, a ghost of laughter that refuses to die. There's no sound of war, no prayer, no promise, only balance. The earth has gone back to breathing on its own. Volcanoes erupt, and oceans answer. Lightning speaks the old language of fire and rain, without needing an audience to applaud it. It's not revenge, it's rhythm, the planet keeping time after we drop the beat. The stars keep shining, exactly as they did when no one was here to name them. And in that emptiness, something strange happens. Beauty becomes unbearable, not because it's gone, but because there's no one left to call it beautiful. The world exists vast, alive, and unseen. Sometimes, a breeze passes through an empty field, brushing over bones that once built cities. It doesn't linger, it doesn't mourn. It just keeps moving, as if whispering a single thought through the quiet. In the silence, awareness expands like fog, not seeing, but knowing everything. Maybe we were never the main story, just the noise between two eternities of silence. The earth wakes slowly, stretching in the sunlight we left behind. 1,000 years later, the world has forgotten our name but not our shape. Mountains still stand where our cities once stood, pretending they've always been there. Valleys remember us through ruins buried like old thoughts. The wind still carries fragments of our language, rearranged into bird songs and ocean sighs. Somewhere, coral grows over the bones of a city that once believed it was eternal. It's strange the planet looks younger now. It wears our extinction like skincare, glowing, guilt-free, beautifully indifferent. Every scar we left has become a landscape. The Great Wall has turned to hills, skyscrapers have melted into mountains. Even plastic, our final signature, crumbles into sand, joining the beaches we used to escape to. If time had eyes, maybe it would pity us, a species so desperate to matter that we forgot how to simply exist. We built everything to last forever, except ourselves, but maybe that's the point. Maybe impermanence was never a flaw, just a misunderstood form of mercy. Maybe forever was the mistake, not the dream. The world inhales again, careful, slow, like testing its lungs for the first time. Every breath we took borrowed something from the world: air, warmth, light. We never gave it back. Until we did, all at once. And now, the planet finally exhales. It doesn't feel like tragedy. It feels like balance. Like the earth kept our last sigh and turned it into weather. Like our pulse became thunder. Our laughter became rain. Somewhere, in the soft hum of a storm, the echo of humanity lingers not as noise, but as rhythm. The rhythm that taught the world to breathe. Every storm still hums our melody, quiet, steady, refusing to forget the tune. Maybe that's all we ever were, a single inhale in the long lungs of time, and now that we're gone, the world finally knows how to breathe again. Somewhere, a drop of rain finally falls, the one that hung mid-air when we disappeared. The world turns once more, though no one's left to notice, but the world remembers in textures, soft moss, where names used to be, echoes carved into wind. The cities are gone, the names erased, but the wind still remembers the shape of our voices. It brushes through the ruins gently, as if afraid to wake what isn't sleeping. Grass grows through the cracks of forgotten streets. Rivers hum through the bones of bridges. A tree grows through the steering wheel of a buried car, patient as forgiveness. The sky looks the same, endless, patient, forgiving. From a distance, it could almost be mistaken for peace. And maybe that's what this is. Not an ending, not a punishment, just the silence that follows understanding. Maybe existence was never about noise. Maybe living was just how the universe learned to listen. The world doesn't mourn us. It simply keeps going, the way it always meant to. Somewhere, deep in the dust of what used to be home, a seed cracks open. A small green thing rises, reaching toward the same sun we once did. The first sound in 1,000 years is the soft crack of that seed, splitting open the future. Life, unbothered, starts again smaller, quieter, wiser. The air moves, the earth breathes, and for the first time since we vanished, everything feels complete. The moment everything paused was never the end. It was just the world, taking its turn to speak, and somewhere in that quiet breath, if you listen close enough, you can almost hear us exhale.